Oh, you said we were going to a place Walt Disney built.
No, Peter, I said supported.
That girl's hot.
That's a guy.
That other guy's handsome.
That's a girl.
That cat is cute.
That's a dog.
What is everything?
Hi, horse.
I'm really sorry. I was just trying to be kind.
Kind? If you want to be kind, disappear and take the patriarchy with you. Seriously, go away, stalker. You're weird. Weird.
What the hell is even that?
It's Hollywood, baby.
Like, who has been the most exciting person for you tonight? Oh my gosh, but just took the word out of my mouth. But
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see her.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
My time has come.
Psych! And this country was happy to oblige by giving Rachel Zegler the largest box office bomb of her career, effectively ending her career. No one's ever going to want to see Rachel Zegler star in anything ever again. The empty theaters was a giant F you. We'll do exactly what you say.
Who's laughing now?
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's, who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
I'm a narcissist.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I'm a narcissist.
Every time she speaks, she gets less likable. I truly do believe that.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
Emotional, damn it!
I just want to tell you guys about a little incredible movie that just came out, Snow White. Wow. I just got to tell you, best movie I've seen in years, and there have been some really, really good films lately. Madam Web, Rebel Moon Part 1, that movie, that transgender one with the Mexican drug lord. But Snow White blows them all away. Chat, this movie has everything. Horrifying, CGI, little people, check. A feminist princess who don't need no man, double check. Diddy dance party at the end, double diddy check. All this to say, go see Snow White right now. The new one, not that old stupid one where the princess gets saved by some good, upstanding guy.
There are two kinds of people in Hollywood, those who get roasted by Family Guy and those who haven't been yet.
That girl's hot.
That's a guy.
That other guy's handsome.
That's a girl.
That cat is cute.
That's a dog.
What is everything?
Boom, roasted.
But when Rachel Zegler found herself at the center of a full-blown animated takedown, delivered with the subtlety of a sledgehammer and the grace of a falling piano, something shifted. Not just in her PR strategy, not just in the ever-expanding disaster that is Disney's live-action Snow White, but in the cultural conversation itself. What once felt like internet snark morphed into something far more damning: mainstream ridicule. When a cartoon sitcom powered by fart jokes and talking dogs becomes the sharpest voice of reason in Hollywood, yeah, that's when you know the House of Mouse has officially entered its clown era. And poor Rachel Zegler, she walked straight into it like it was a musical number.
So will she rise or bow her head? Will she lead or just relax?
You serious?
Now, it didn't come from a film critic, it didn't come from a think piece in Variety. No, the most savage indictment of Disney's $250 million nostalgia, Frankenstein, came from Peter Griffin. Yes, the same man who once fought a chicken for 7 minutes straight managed to say what audiences had been screaming for years, with one brutal punchline. In a blink and you'll miss it segment, Family Guy showcased a plummeting Disney stock ride in a cartoon Disneyland. Funny? Yes. Subtle? Not even slightly. It was a perfectly distilled visual metaphor. Disney's kingdom, once soaring, now spiraling into creative and financial freefall. And the joke didn't need a laugh track. It came with years of pent-up audience frustration baked right in. But this wasn't just satire. This was cultural commentary armed with brass knuckles. It didn't just target Snow White, but Disney's entire strategy. take beloved classics, gut them of soul, and repackage them with a checklist of buzzwords and performative progressivism. In other words, slap a new coat of representation on a rusting creative vehicle and hope no one notices the engine's dead. Spoiler alert, we noticed. And just in case Family Guy's roast wasn't enough, South Park came swinging in with a chainsaw. Their special episode, Joining the Panderverse, didn't hold back.
It's a brand new exclusive event with all your favorite South Park characters.
Dude, school is going to be so awesome today. I had explosive diarrhea all night. I like big boobs.
Oh, hamburgers. How does this even make any sense?
It makes perfect sense. I think the problem is you.
It took Disney's content model, stripped it naked, and set it on fire. Enter the Panderstone, a mythical artifact held by a cartoonified Kathleen Kennedy, who gleefully shrieked, "Put a chick in it and make her gay!"
Is there a problem, people?
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
A line so viral, so devastatingly on the nose, it practically became the unofficial slogan of every reboot controversy. The implication wasn't that Disney was too woke, it was that Disney had become lazy. Lazy enough to treat identity like an aesthetic and diversity like a deflector shield against valid criticism.
The last time I had the dream, I was walking down the school hallway, and that's when I started to notice that something's wrong. Everyone I cared about has been systematically replaced. And finally, I want to scream, and I'm like, why are they replacing every single character with someone who is diverse?
Exactly what they're doing, and that is why we hate the diversity, equity, and inclusion casting and writing in movies.
The episode showed a dystopian multiverse where every classic character had been replaced with a hollow, corporate-approved clone. Star Wars, gone. Marvel, hollowed out. Indiana Jones, unrecognizable. All infected with the same algorithm, the same desperate attempt to stay relevant, while abandoning the one thing audiences actually cared about: storytelling. If that sounds familiar, it's because it is. And if you thought it was only the satirists who were fed up, think again. George Lucas himself, the man who built the Star Wars galaxy from scratch, casually dropped a nuke at a public panel. Smiling, relaxed, and probably sipping metaphorical tea, he quipped that Disney execs likely think they're saving the world with their creative choices, but are actually doing damage.
Some of us think we're really great people, but in the real world we're not. We're terrible people. You run your life in a very selfish way, and you think you're doing good when you're actually not. And at the same time, it's how do democracies turn back into dictatorships? It's happened through history forever.
Damage. From the guy who gave us Jar Jar Binks, that's saying something. The laughter from the audience was nervous, knowing, because let's be real, when even the man who invented midi-chlorians says you've gone too far, you've really lost the plot. And then, standing smack in the middle of all this chaos, was Rachel Zegler, Snow White herself. Not so much the fairest of them all as the most polarizing. From the moment she was cast, the internet lit up like a Christmas tree wired by Michael Bay.
The reason Snow White is called Snow White in this version of the film, because of course she is not white as snow, is because she and her family go through a snowstorm and survived the snowstorm, and so it's a mark of her resilience. That's why she's called Snow White.
Disney fans, casual moviegoers, even people who hadn't seen the original since VHS, everyone had something to say. And it wasn't just about race, it was about authenticity. Snow White's defining description, skin white as snow, was suddenly labeled irrelevant, outdated, problematic. Fine, reimagine it. But what followed wasn't a modern twist. It was an execution. In interview after interview, Rachel didn't just distance herself from the source material, she torched it. The original Snow White? Creepy. The prince? A stalker. The story? Irrelevant.
God forbid a woman dream about true love. We're all just sitting around here, maybe I could be president one day. I hate men, I just want to be president. That screams Disney princess. Oh my God, I'm literally getting enraged. Once again, I feel like I'm back in 2022. Yeah, the entire film's about a love story. So, yeah, I mean, it's about a love story because that's what the point of the film is. And I'm sorry that chivalry and a man pursuing you is now deemed as stalking, which now it's kind of making sense why men are opting out of the dating scene.
Women.
It was like being handed the keys to a vintage Ferrari and immediately driving it into a ditch because you don't vibe with carburetors. The backlash wasn't subtle, it wasn't quiet, and it didn't go away. Every TikTok, every quote, every dismissive smirk from Rachel became fuel for the fire. She wasn't embracing the role, she was dismantling it. And in doing so, she became the lightning rod for everything audiences were already angry about. When the backlash hit, Rachel didn't retreat. She posted TikToks. She clapped back. She gave carefully worded statements that felt more like PR homework than genuine reflection. And perhaps worst of all, she seemed confused by the outrage. At one point, she called the experience emotional.
It's the most emotional experience that a person can go through, to know that what they're working on is something that has reached a generation of people.
As if receiving valid criticism was an act of violence. Another time, she walked into a screening of her own film, bouquet in hand, smiling brightly, only to reveal a nearly empty theater. The internet had a field day. Memes exploded. Snow White and the 7 empty seats trended. What was meant to be a triumphant moment turned into a punchline so brutal, not even Family Guy could have scripted it better. This wasn't just a flop. This was symbolism. And as if the PR disaster wasn't enough, real-world politics decided to kick in the door. Rachel publicly supported a ceasefire in Gaza, while her co-star Gal Gadot, the evil queen herself, is famously pro-Israel and a former IDF soldier. The result? Lebanon banned the movie. Not because of Rachel, not because of Disney, but because Gal Gadot existed in the same runtime. A fantasy film about dwarves and magical kisses now stood at the epicenter of a geopolitical minefield. Suddenly, Snow White wasn't just a remake. It was a Rorschach test for every cultural, political, and creative debate brewing under the surface of modern media. And you know what comes next. The social media excavation. Old tweets, past posts, out-of-context quotes, dragged back into the spotlight like receipts in a reality show reunion episode. One post in particular, Rachel making a jab at Donald Trump, resurfaced with venom. Apologies were issued, clarifications made, but the damage was done. She wasn't just Rachel Zegler anymore. She was every controversy, every grievance, every moment of studio tone deafness wrapped into one very online package. Then came the final humiliation: box office receipts. While Snow White limped to a pitiful $160 million, the live-action Minecraft movie, a film critics expected to be the punchline, blew past $300 million like it had cheat codes enabled. Jack Black, wild-eyed and fully aware of the assignment, brought joy, fun, and zero political baggage. He didn't preach, he performed, and audiences showed up. It wasn't just a win, it was a total annihilation. Minecraft wasn't a better movie, it was a better strategy. Know your audience, respect the property, give people what they came for. Disney, meanwhile, gave them a lecture. Insiders began whispering, Rachel's future at Disney, not so secure. The rumored Tangled remake, suddenly in limbo. Directors and execs, once enchanted by Ziegler's rising star, were now hesitant, wary of backlash, worried about association. Because Rachel wasn't just an actress anymore, she was a brand risk, a meme, a walking lesson in how not to manage a multi-million-dollar PR machine in the digital age. Family Guy dragged them. South Park filleted them. YouTubers are eating them for breakfast. Disney used to mean something. It used to be the gold standard. Now it's the punchline. The tragedy of Snow White isn't just a failed remake, it's the story of a company that forgot why people loved it in the first place. And Rachel Zegler, she may recover, she may reinvent, or she may spend the next decade as a cautionary tale whispered in casting rooms and studio meetings, a reminder that when you strip away the heart of a fairy tale, mock the fans, and treat timeless stories like TikTok trends, you don't just lose money, you lose the magic, and no amount of Disney dollars can buy that back. So what do you think? Is Disney too far gone, or can they somehow pull a miracle from the ruins? And is Rachel Zegler unfairly targeted, or is she just the face of a bigger problem? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you don't miss the next cultural meltdown. Because if Hollywood has taught us anything, there's always another one just around the corner.